Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome back if you've been here before. I have this little dining area in my kitchen that I have been working on for years, since I moved in basically. I had a table and chairs there situation. I built this banquette that's been working well because it uses more space, like the couches are up against the wall, and so you maximize your space in your little dining area because there's no chairs that people have to be able to walk behind. And I've been wanting to make a table for this area because I had a circular table there, which was fine, but I don't really like how it's working. So in this video, we are going to make a rectangle table with a little hidden puzzle box. And I got some chairs off Facebook Marketplace. We're also going to be refinishing those. You'll see that all in the video. Let's hop to it. I got these chairs on Facebook Marketplace. I like that they're a circle shape because I feel like there's a lot of squares and rectangles in the kitchen. It's like mixing up a little shape here. They were, however, bar height, so I did have to cut off the legs. And I'm going to be reupholstering this for a striped fabric, a beautiful striped fabric. I've decided on white because the kitchen is white and then there's a lot of color, so I think it'll be nice balance to have some white in the chairs. And we're gonna paint them, you guessed it, green. We're gonna paint them hunting jacket, my new favorite color. And I would keep this dark wood, I would like to, but it is a veneer and it's chipping in certain places. So the two chairs that we were working on were gonna go right here. And I was about to sand them down and paint them the green color, and I thought, oh no, what if I can't get this paint off the table? Because then the table I'm gonna want to be green, and then I'm gonna have to pivot for the chair situation. So I'm gonna go to Home Depot right now and get some paint stripper, and we're gonna try and get the paint. We're gonna be able to get the paint off. I'm just doing this as a precaution, but for sure we'll be able to get the paint off. We're gonna take apart the paint table and take off the paint. This, in case you can see this bundle back here, this is the fabric for the chair cushions. Very cute stripey wipey. And I have a different stripe for the banquette here. I made this banquette, I think at the beginning of this year. And it's awesome because then you can get so much seating in here. But I've had a struggle with the table because we used to have a circle table here. Just felt like it was like jutting out more here. And if you're sitting in the corner of a banquette and there's a circle table, the table's like too far from you. You can't reach it. So I wanted a rectangle, I decided. I was thinking maybe triangle, and then I was like, I'm getting too weird. Let's just do a rectangle table. And then at the thrift store, I happened to find like the exact size that I needed for like $8 the next day. But I don't like that these legs come out so far because they bump up against the banquette, and then you couldn't like get tucked in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't pull the table any closer to you, so the table would be out where your legs are from the banquette, if that makes sense. So anyways, we're gonna put different legs on it. I'm thinking something like this. I like the style with like the one post having a base like that. Hopefully I'll just reuse these legs to become the middle post and then put like a base piece on it, because underneath of this table I can see that it's like a nice wood, and I'm sure the legs and everything is made out of the same wood. So hopefully I can use as much of this wood so that it all still looks like the same wood that the table is made out of. Otherwise I'm gonna have to try and do some fancy stuff with some stain. I also, of course, thought of that games table. If anybody's seen it, they lift off the top of the table and there's like an inner sitting part, and they like have little cubbies for their drinks and like all this cool stuff in there. And I love doing puzzles, but I never do puzzles because am I gonna do a puzzle? I'm gonna do a puzzle on this table? It's like, no, then what if I need the table? What if I need to eat on the table? Puzzle takes me like a week, sometimes 2. Like, I just like bopping and doing a puzzle. So hopefully we'll make this into a puzzle table. I pop this off, and then I'm gonna put a base in at the bottom of this so that there can be like a puzzle sitting in there. Okay, I'm gonna go to the store and get some tangs, and then we'll take this apart, we'll strip it, we'll do all the things. Here we go now. I am back, and it is time to take off the legs. The stripper, I guess I'm saying stripper, okay. While the stripper is stripping, I am going to be reupholstering the cushions. I'm just gonna staple on the new fabric back here, and I'm going to take off the old fabric because it's navy blue, so I don't want it to show through. And let's hop to it. I got very over taking out the staples and I'm just X-Acto knifing it, which is fine. It's not gonna be that big of a deal, okay? Like, nobody's looking on like the bottom of the chair, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna look at the bottom. Come on. See, these ones are like extra tight to the board because they're the OG staples and they drama. They absolute drama, mate. That's my fault, that's my... Does anybody know that song? I think it's Taylor Swift, actually. I like it. I've been hearing it lately. Oh, and that's my life, that's my life. I also recently rediscovered Gwen Stefani. Pretty good stuff, guys. Pretty good stuff. She's all cuckoo, ah, ah, ah. And Harajuku girls, done. Both of these are done. Just because they're like dirty and gross and whatever. And I think because it'll make the other fabric look better, I'm gonna put this fabric and then put that fabric. Okay, let's do it. I need the vacuum. Unfortunately, because I am still a huge rookie when it comes to filming, I filmed these clips in slow motion. Which means there was no audio. So I'm here to tell you this is me cutting out the fabric and stapling it to the cushions. I'm just spraying these with Scotchgard. I've never used Scotchgard. I think it's toxic. I think I would usually never use this. But these cushions are white, so I'm like... And they're going in the kitchen, so I'm like... So we're doing Scotchgard. After finishing up the cushions, I repaired any damage on the chairs, sanded them down, and got them ready for painting. We are painting the chairs. I think I already said this, but it's my new favorite color called Hunting Jacket. It's a muddy green color. It's a swampy color. And off we go. I finished painting the chairs and then stripped the paint off the table legs and the tabletop and sanded it down so that it was all back to the raw wood. I was not going to have enough wood to make the table out of the wood that the table was made out of. Luckily, I kept the pieces of an old table that I had deconstructed a while ago, and these were the legs of it. And they have this curve here. So I took the piece and I cut a curve onto the other side because as you can see, the other side is just square. And so I cut a curve into the other side as well. These are gonna be the two base pieces going across the bottom, and then it'll be leg coming up, table on top. You feel? So I'm just gonna do the same that I did to this one onto this one. I cut the same angle on the other leg and then sanded it down and then got to assembling the table. I drilled holes into the base piece and glued some wooden pegs into it. I then marked the top of the pegs with a red crayon so that when I put the leg on top of it, it would mark where I need to drill the holes for it to match up. I drilled those holes and glued the leg onto the other end of the pegs. It's been a journey. We are on our way. I have sanded down all the pieces, filled all the things that need to be filled. I made these two legs. I'm gonna stain the whole thing this color. That I was just testing it on the one board. So I made two legs like this. I'm gonna refinish the table. I routed the edges so it's a bit rounded. And I went to the hardware store. I got this piece of OSB. We're gonna use this for the puzzle table. It's cheaper and I feel like it looks like kind of crafty anyways. So I'm just gonna refinish it and put it in the base of the table. I don't have a stain color that I'm particularly loving for this, so I'm gonna mix two because I have this dark espresso one, but I want it to be a little bit warmer, so I'm gonna add golden oak. I'm thinking half and half will be good. Here we go, y'all. Okay, I've started wiping it off and it's literally the exact color that I wanted. Like a dark brown that still is like warm. Oh yeah, but like an orangey warm. Wow, it's literally perfect. Hey y'all, how y'all doing, y'all? I'm listening to Miley Cyrus's sister and mom's podcast, and then Tish has her accent. Wow, I'm not good at that. Okay, never mind. Anyways, Kate, is anyways, you're not supposed to say anyways, you're supposed to say anyway. People say anyways is not a word. Has anybody heard that? Anyway, I'm painting these strips, this beigey yellow color. Actually, if you watched my closet makeover, This is the iced coffee color. And if you watch my closet makeover, you know that this color looked extremely dark and brown in the closet. And this is why I picked it. I'm not going crazy. It was butter yellow in the store. And it looks butter yellow in bright light. But my closet was just so dark that it really looked brown. So anyways, I'm painting the inside of these because these are what are going to be in like the puzzle box, if that makes sense. Like these are going to be the edges of the puzzle box, and this OSB piece is going to be the puzzle box. I still haven't decided if I should paint it or if I should leave it clear. I kind of like the look of the OSB. It looks kind of crafty, but that can be determined later because it also would be cute if it was this yellow color as well. But yeah, so this is going to frame the OSB, and then the brown tabletop that I stained is going to be sitting on top of this whole thing. But we're moving and grooving. I am hopefully putting this table together today, and then I'll probably put a clear coat on it once it's all put together upstairs, just because I want it out of here. So we'll be doing that in a bit. But for now, we piece the table together. I am drilling pocket holes in the base of this piece so you won't be able to see the screws, and then I'm gonna pocket hole screw it into this piece, the frame, so it will be like sitting in here like a picture. Obviously it would be easier to just screw it onto the bottom of this or nail it on. However, I don't want you to be able to see it from the side when the main table is on, if that makes sense, because this is gonna be the side, it's gonna be like this. The top is gonna be on top of this. And I don't want anything like popping out from the bottom. That would look weird. Like if the edge of this OSB was just like sticking out on the edge here, it would look bad. And I would rather sacrifice the strength of this a little bit than the aesthetics of the table when it's in the table mode. So that's what I'm doing, if anybody's curious. And pocket holes are quite strong anyways, so I'm not too worried about it with the pocket holes, but I also am going to glue it. Moment of truth. Let's see what we're cooking with. I'm nervous. It's kind of small, but it'll still fit a big puzzle. Yada! Oh wait, you can't see it. Yeah. Also, yada! There she is in all of her glory. Oh my god, you still can't see it. Sorry, the garage is like small, so when it gets like messy, it's just tricky, wicky, bicky. Should we put the piece on top? Whoa, cute. Wow, it's so much better than I even thought it was gonna be. This is sick. I am gonna put 2 crossbars down here. 1, 2, because you see we have that wiggle there. But like side to side, she's sturdy as hell. Cool, so I just gotta put those crossbars in. What I'm gonna do next here is just put some corner pieces like this, so that it sits actually in here and doesn't like, can't slide around, you know what I mean? The end is in sight, y'all. I brought the table upstairs. I'm just cutting up some of these felt pads and putting them on the bottom. We're gonna do 1 coat of polyurethane. This is a water-based poly in satin. And if you don't like when the wood goes yellow, use a water-based polyurethane because the oil-based ones make the wood yellow, and they both work pretty well anyways, so. Yeah, that's a little tipski if anybody didn't know. And my lips are very chapped today. Very chapped. Very chapped, very bad news for me. I thought I had dealt with the chappedness that I had a couple weeks ago, the chappedness, and the chappedness is right back. And the reason I'm using a little foamy brush is simply because the polyurethane will dry and harden the brush and ruin the brush and it's trashed. So I don't like to use my paintbrushes because I like to wash my paintbrushes and keep them. However, this I just throw away after because it's gonna be hard as a rock. Brendan? Yo. Did you like Avatar? What? Did you like Avatar? Did I like it? Yeah. I don't know, both of them?
Yeah, why?
I was just wondering.
Why?
I was just wondering.
There has to be a reason. You don't just randomly ask that.
I've just been thinking about it.
Yeah, we should watch the second one again.
Okay. Cute. I have finished the chairs and the table. We're all done. It's looking beautiful and amazing, in my opinion. The chairs turned out very good. I love this green color, as we already know. And then with the stripes, it's looking very house and garden to me. It's like giving like a British vibe, and I love it. I love the British home decor. I think I'm gonna have to move this light because it looks awkward. I'll see where the table ends up going, but I feel like the light needs to be more in the middle that way. So I might just move the box over, but we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna live with it for a little while. Okay, I've created the banquette situation. I think I just said this. Anyways, I just had my partner come down here and we were discussing the situation because I really don't like this area. Since the table is so narrow, I feel like there would never be somebody sitting on this end, because if you have a plate here and a plate here, this person's not going to be able to fit their plate here, and like it's all pretty squishy already. And then I don't love the banquette like scoochy situation, the fact that somebody would have to scooch to get all the way in there. So what I'm thinking is I should take out this section of banquette, this L here, and just have the bench under the window. So then I can make the table a little longer, which actually will be quite easy because I'll just cut off both edges, and then I'll probably just get like a 1x6 or something and add it to both sides so that it still looks parallel and like correct, but it just like there's all of a sudden like a horizontal framing piece almost on either side, and I'll just join it there. And then when this bench is gone, I feel like then you can walk in on this side, you can walk in on that side, and then these two chairs would be more comfortable. They'll have like more room. And then if we needed to, the table will be like about a foot bigger. And so then we could do 1, 2, 3 if we needed to do a squishy situation. So eventually we're going to do that. Finish one project. Of course, all of a sudden we decide it creates another project because it's got to be perfect. Because I'm a psycho. I also should say we've literally never had anybody over. Never. At least not since I first moved in. But I feel like it's the situation of, do we not have people over because we don't have a good space? Or do we just not have people over? And I guess we're gonna find out once this space is perfect. It's also so good though, like this table being this narrow, but you could still fit 2 plates or whatever. That's also why I want it to be like the horizontally, so you can do 2 rows of plates. Yeah, you can't really add someone on the ends. The table's not wide enough, but the narrowness of it is so good because somebody could literally be sitting here. The table could even be pulled out more, and then you still have this room to walk. Because I found that was a problem when I have had parties and stuff. If somebody's sitting here, you're like shimmying past them. But now it's like totally, there's a ton of room, which is great. I need a nap, man. I'm hungover today. I went to wine night last night with the girls. We drank some wine. On that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and like my little banquette situation. I am very excited to make a puzzle. If you did enjoy this video, please subscribe. And yeah, don't forget to tell your friends too, hey kid?